Yo! Still forgetting the Band-Aid every single time. Luna, what is going on? Tell me everything. Ugh. What's up, Sheila? This will be good. Script! How are ya? What's new? What's happening? Tell me everything. So, we did one style. We're going to now work on the other two. Oh, hell yeah. That'll be fun. Who's your favorite? Okay, so. This one is, I'm going to start with the new style that I'm really excited about that oh, oops, I need to open up volume for you guys on YouTube. Totally fair. Totally fair. Cool. Hell yeah, Luna. So this is the new style that I kind of came up with the other day. That's kind of between cutting out all the holes in the entire piece and the style that we did yesterday. So it's essentially just 3 lines around. Thanks. And then we're going to just poke out a bunch of holes throughout the entire thing, if that makes sense. I really, really like this one. Hell yeah, script. Hell yeah, that's awesome. Farms, this is my 3rd day making pottery. It's super, super easy. Everybody online who says it's difficult has been lying. It's kind of insane to me. Have you tried yourself? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Say again? What are we talking about, ladder? You know what, Luna? That makes sense to me. You want to listen to the band? Is this the band? Is that what we're listening to right now? Sorry, I'm so spaced out. We can listen to them in a bit. I'm great. How are you? Also, depending on how much steam we have, I'm contemplating making some miniature teapots for this next firing. Is that something you guys would be interested in seeing today? Oh, script. I got back from the West Coast a few days ago. I've been just trying to fulfill this orchid pot commission and chill at the same time. So after we do this and maybe make a little teapot or whatnot, we'll go from there. And I don't think today's going to be a super long streamy day, but we'll see. Maybe we'll make like 2 little teapots. Yeah, I was out in LA for my cousin's wedding and then up in Seattle and then drove up to Orchid, took the ferry over, and my aunt and uncle have a house over there, so just hung out with them there. Thanks, ladder. Amani, oh my god. Do I make pots? No, I don't. I wish I did. Everybody who makes pottery is a cool person, but sadly not me. Oh yeah, nice. My some other relatives live in San Francisco. I'm good. What's up, Sue? What are we talking about? Hell yeah, Luna. Me? Sue? Oh my god, you're cool. Okay, sounds good. Enjoy yourself. An owl like of an owl? Interesting. I'd be game to try that. Not on these commissions, but I'm game to try that on something else. I think before we do that, though, I'm going to be doing a fish pattern. Because that's a little bit more on brand for me than an owl. Yo, what's up, Christy? You mean just like add some eyes or something and call it that? Yeah, I mean, we could figure something out. Anyway, this is the new pattern that I'm... What? I do? Keep going, I need more compliments. I appreciate it, Christy. Christy, excuse me. Okay, so there's one side. And we're just gonna do the other three. I'm excited to have a chill day later. When is your pottery class again? When's all that start? Well, hopefully sooner than later. You're saying stuff I've never heard of, Gentle. What's a floral frog? Is it a frog that smells florally? Thanks, Sheila. Oh, like a frog, like. Um, no. To that. That's that's a bummer, kitten. So they're sitting at they've been delivered and everything. I will cook this in my microwave for at least 15 minutes deep at this point, and hopefully something happens to it nicely. I'm well, Sheila. I'm glad that I can. Damn, kid. I'm sorry. What we should have done is prolonged. I could have just shipped it once you were going to be there, and then it wouldn't have been like a uh, as much of a tease, maybe, or maybe that would have made it worse if I held on to it. Gentle, the big thing for me is that I don't personally like cut flowers, and so I generally just make things that I would use myself. And so frogs don't appeal to me in the sense of like I don't like cut flowers. Yeah, we could totally do it. I'm not to making one, but the reason I don't make them is because I don't appreciate flowers, really. I know I make vases and things like that, but I put dried flowers in my vases if I do that usually. Well, so Sheila, you can put things in the microwave, you can put things in the toaster oven, you can put things in your oven. It just depends on the effect you're going for, you know. It's really a personal preference kind of look, you know. You get more atmosphere in a microwave, but a toaster oven usually cooks more thoroughly and a little bit more even, so we got some nice vitrification going hither and thither. You know what I'm saying? I do like that you can actually use a microwave to fire pottery. Has anybody in here actually done like a raku firing in a microwave before? Feathers in a vase sound great. Gotcha. Well, if you send me a cool idea, or maybe we can come up with one online, or a general idea of what you're looking for. Maybe we can do one together here at some point. I think a frog would be really quick and simple to make. Brian, what are you doing? What's going on? What's happening? Tell me everything. Oh yeah, it was. The reason I never bought one of those little plaster or whatever for it is that they're so little. It's like, what are you gonna fire? Like one little cup? I don't know. Sounds good. What? What are you having for lunch? I mean, that seems to be the most logical thing to put in there, right? Like a little vase or like an ornament or earrings or a pendant. Like I could do my little teapot pendants in a raku kiln, little mini. That would be great. Those raku would, I think, would be gorgeous. Granted, they wouldn't be very strong, and so like when you dropped it, if you did, and it was a necklace, it's bumping into things. It has a tendency of probably maybe breaking. But outside of the fragility aspect of raku, it could be probably a cool way to fire those little mini teapots. Actually, a one with that metallic-y look would actually be pretty beautiful. I said this to you guys. Um, hmm. So Sam, it takes the firing. The next firing is a converted Noborigama, which is a high arch wood kiln, and that is a 28-hour firing. And it takes about a cord of wood to fire it, which I cut over the last like kind of month, a little hither and thither. My little wood soda kiln takes about 9 to 16 hours to fire to cone 12, and that uses half a cord of wood. Um, and I get to 1,000 degrees in the first hour, so it cranks up hot quickly. And I fire soda kiln that takes around 28 to 28 hours. And then I fire a anagama, 29-foot anagama, which is a style of wood kiln that takes 10 days and 8 cords of wood to fire. I only fire that one once a year, but so those are the 4 kilns that I fire every year. And then maybe sometimes I get invited to other people's firings. Sometimes I go out, just try to fire some other people's kilns. But just Sheffield Pottery, they come in a 3-pack, all different sizes. So each side of each one's a different size. I think it's like $8. I need to buy myself a new one, but I keep telling people to go buy these from them, and then every time I go to try to buy my own, they're sold out. So I really need a new set myself. I used to just get a piece of brass from Ace Hardware and brass tubing, and then just like poke the holes out of this. But I like that this one's smaller and that it has the varying sizes. That sounds delicious, Brian. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Because I also got a very, very, very long text message that I should probably sit down and read. But we're gonna do this first. something got filtered. Who said something inappropriate? I'm sure it was nothing inappropriate whatsoever, but TikTok decided to filter it anyway. Kind of crazy to me. It's based on the kiln. And the big thing is that it's based on the kiln, and then it's also based on the person who owns the kiln and feels comfortable with a certain amount of timing on a firing. So only one of those is my kiln, right? Out of the 4 wood kilns that are fired, or atmospheric kilns. And so you're really at the whim of the person who owns it, because a kiln, a wood kiln, you know, they pretty much, like, unless you're building a rocket kiln, they're like $10,000 to, you know, $70,000 to build, and so you just kind of listening to whatever that person says, and their saying is absolute, and you nod along and you do your best to accompany, fire it however they want the kiln to be fired, and if you want more of a say, then just go build your own. That's kind of how the atmospheric firing situations work. And when it's your shift, you can kind of do whatever you want, but in guidance, or like some kind of like standing with the person who owns the kiln, like what they would want to be seen or doing, blah 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 blah. You guys know what I mean. So, for example, the wood kiln and the soda kiln could be fired significantly faster. There is no, for the Noborigama and for the soda kiln. And the reason is that everything is bisque fired already, which means it's gone through a first firing. And because it's gone through a first firing, you could theoretically crank the temperature to 1,000 degrees in the first hour, just like I do in my wood kiln. I don't campfire or do a slow preheat or any of that kind of stuff. So if you were to just crank it, the soda kiln and the Noborigama could be fired in 12 hours, not 28 hours. Not my kiln, no. And, you know, people find a way of doing things that works for them, and they stick with it. Again, that's why I just built my own. So I have full control over going fast or slow or whatever the case is. So I'm just softening up all the lines here. This will just save me some time. I'll do more of it with sandpaper or Scott Bright pad once it's bone dry, but this just a little bit right here saves me a lot of time later on. There's number 1. Only 9 more to go. What do you mean by strict? Yeah, that's awesome. What kind of clay did you get? All right, so same thing. I didn't know Sheffield had a cone. You're using cone 6, I assume. I didn't know they had a black. Oh. Did you get the Mastodon? That clay is sweet. Wish it wasn't so expensive, but that makes sense. Hell yeah, the Mastodon is awesome. Yeah, that definitely makes sense, kid. Yeah. How much was shipping? And yeah, I think I told you this, but when you order shipments from them of clay, they usually take a lot longer than they quote. So I'm just throwing that out there. Like, I stopped ordering clay from them when I worked at schools because it would take like 5 months, 4 months to get here. Even though they would say it'd be like 2 weeks or 3 weeks, it would take months. Now that may have changed. I haven't tried to order clay from them since I worked at one of the local private schools near me, and that was before COVID. So yeah, Sheffield. You can buy these at Sheffield as well. They'll definitely ship to you sooner than your clay. These are just their hole punches. But again, not everybody will go buy their hole punches, because every time I go to buy new hole punches, they're sold out, because I keep telling people to buy them. They're like $8, you get 3. It's pretty great. Well, you still can. I'm here. We can do in person, we can do Zoom, we can do whatever you want. You just have to like keep asking about it, because I'm not good at following up on things. Yeah, a drill works. So if we were to do this different, like for double wall pieces, I would actually be poking these holes out differently. But because I like a little bit of like unevenness with the holes, we're happy with this, or I'm happy with this. I don't know if you guys are happy with this. So I was confused by I got restricted. I seem to get restricted every time I go on TikTok now because I put this in my mouth and then I looked at the sounds good. I looked at the restricted like pamphlet on why I got restricted on TikTok yesterday, and uh, it wasn't because they thought I was smoking. It was because people were uncomfortable with something that I was doing, and the only thing I've been doing is poking out holes. And so have a feeling someone reported me for poking out holes, and TikTok just restricted my account. Yo, what's good? Yeah, I know. Ridiculous. So I think we're gonna do 4 at a time, and then I'm gonna take breaks in between, um, so I don't like completely lose interest while we're working. So we're gonna do 2 more after this one, in a different style. But I just don't have any interest in. It was probably honestly, Kitten, probably. It was probably someone who learned about the word triphobia or whatever. I'm not pronouncing it properly, but and so yeah. I know, right? I probably pay, but like, you don't go. I don't know. That's just ridiculous. Like if you don't like something, holes, just scroll through. You don't have to spend the effort going through all of it to be like, TikTok, I'm scared of holes. Restrict this guy. I don't know. Seemed a little ridiculous to me. Good on ya. You're the kind of person I want in here, Prey. Anybody who likes a good hole is welcome. These are like weirdly soft. Which I'm surprised because we made these pots, what, 2 days ago now? I guess I really covered them well. Thanks, James. That's what everybody should be calling me from now on. I when I post about holy pots, I spell it holy like that, and people keep asking me if I'm misspelling. I'm like, no, they're holy pots. They thanks. They when we do these as double walled, I'm going to be more careful and have them fully evenly spaced instead of having these kind of like gaps here. But for the sake of these orchid pots, it doesn't bother me. I kind of like that they're a little bit, you know. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Keep me posted. I really like this style. Also, pray. I've made like 5 million of these little dots at this point. Later. Have a good one. Enjoy yourself. Everybody who comes into my studio sees all these little dots everywhere, and they're like, "We gotta do something with the dots." And I'm sure there's something you could like make out of the dots. A little dot teapad of some sort. I don't know, something creative that I'm not coming up with, but we're doing enough. I don't need to do any more. You know what I'm saying? It's I need to add more work to our already kind of large workload. Yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, yeah, yeah. Interesting. I would like them more if they weren't clumped together. If I kept them separate, I think they'd be great for the bottoms of plants. Yeah, no, I think you're right. I mean, they would have a high absorption rate. They would be nice for that. I wonder if unfired, low fired, high fired clay would be good orchid medium. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm usually using like sphagnum moss and lava stone and these little beady thingies. Huh. 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 Curious. I feel like they would make really good orchid medium. Maybe we'll try with these. I mean, the other thing is that I could just make them back into clay and make another orchid pot from them. So, but I'm also kind of interested in the experiment. To buy myself another orchid, though, as a justification for trying to create something different. Sadie, oh my god, thank you. I've never made a yarn bowl, but you're the second person in 2 days to ask me that. I don't have a use for a yarn bowl, so I've never made one. I generally only make things that I would use myself, but if I had the necessity for a yarn bowl, I would definitely be getting into it. That being said, that'd be an easy thing. You think so? Okay, okay, okay. I mean, I'm not opposed to the fact. Kyle, I saw I saw some really creepy Christian Potter the other day, and he was like just spouting disgusting verses while he was making his pots. It was made me so uncomfortable. I hated it. I think Sadie, that's a fantastic business idea. I appreciate it. Someone said something about that Potter. He's all over TikTok, or he was. I blocked him. I'm not interested in that absolute filth. Ugh. Did you? Jealous. They're so good. Where'd you see them? I'm excited for these orchid pods. I kind of was like the first 25 we made, I was really not into. So I'm really happy we made these new ones. What? What were you trimming? Hell yeah. Any name suggestions? or ideas that you might use? Hell yeah. Awesome. What is the general idea that you're going for naming wise? Like, are we trying to go for an actual name, or what's the vibe here? I've never named my car. I've never even named my kiln. It doesn't have a name. I think someone was trying to come up with a name at one point, and I think they decided to name it themselves that, but I never really fully leaned into whatever the name was that they chose. I mean, half the time I call Olive, I call her Dawn, you know? She literally responds as well to that than her actual name. All right, let's do two more, and we're gonna do our next style. I mean, yeah, that's kind of what happened. You could theoretically do that, Eric, but you'd have to wait for this to get drier. If you drilled it right now, I don't think it would work very well. But also, then I don't know. I just don't like the idea. This is my third day making pottery, so I'm very new to this. So if you see anything I need to improve on or do differently, you let me know. So I don't know what I'm doing. Total guess. Third day. I started. What day is it today? I think it's Sunday, so I started on Thursday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Fourth day. This is my fourth day. Excuse me. Yeah, I appreciate it, Eric. I'm always game, or if anything like that is always appreciated. I think this is my favorite song on the playlist. I sure did. This is my fourth day, Eric. everybody, you know, you go online and everybody's complaining about how hard pottery is and you need all this expensive equipment and it takes years and years to learn. It's all a lie. You can do it in like for free. You know, this wheel cost me like $50. The clay was free. I dug it up myself. You know, it's easy. I don't care what anybody else says. They're all lying to you. That's good because it takes a really long time. It's not an easy. I have this new student, um, and she's already like frustrated at me for not being better at it herself, even though she's never touched clay before. And it's like I don't know what you want from me. Like, it's hard. That's why you're paying me to come here. What are you doing in the studio today, Ken? Eric, I don't want. It'd be ridiculous for me to say anything outside anything else. This is a VL Whisper, the 12-inch wheel, and it has a wheel head, and it has. I'm on 3 center blocks with half bricks up. Heather, how you doing? Sure are, Heather. They're orchid pots for a nursery that's like 12, 13 minutes from my house. I've been buying orchids from them for years, and they found out I make pottery, and they were really interested in getting some from me, so good, I'm glad. So we're doing 24 orchid pots for them this time. They're all going to be wood fired on the 1st and 2nd of August. And Yeah, I have two different hole patterns for so there's 12 small ones, 12 big ones, 6 patterns total, and then there'll be 6 different glazes. And they're pretty much all they said was they didn't want black, white, or brown. So we're gonna be doing lots of blues. Yeah, if you send me, Sheila, if you send me a message on Instagram, I can show you some of my orchid pots that have plants in them. You have any good orchid pots for him? What kind of orchids do you have? Not that I would know names. I've never been very good at learning actual orchid names. The only one I can ever remember the name of is my twinkle orchid. And my coconut orchid because it's, you know, coconut. For my oh, I also called it plant, but hell yeah, I I barely. Okay, these ones, they're going to start moving a little faster because these are going to get easier to make. So there's number 3. We're going to do one more of these. I'm going to take a little bit of a tea break. And then we'll come back into the remaining 2, 4, 6 with different designs. Sounds good. Yeah, I do most of my posting on Instagram, Sheila, and I just live stream on TikTok and YouTube mostly. But I don't really post on either of these platforms very often. I don't really like to for whatever reason. But I do really like to on Instagram. Though Instagram has not been showing my posts or reels to any of the followers I have. So I don't know what's going on, but I'm getting like 100 likes. I have 49,000 followers on Instagram, and I get like 100 likes a post and views on a reel. And it used to be great, and now it's getting progressively worse and worse and worse. And I don't really know what the deal is, but best not to worry about it. Yep, it's the same name everywhere. Just Bell Hill Pottery. They probably want me to pay for that stupid blue check mark, and I refuse. Sounds like they're taking out the recycling, little dog. You can go say hi to them if you want. Sure. What kind of throwing challenge are you looking for? Like an object, or like you want to do something more exciting? Like a technique-based thing, or like an object-based challenge? Oh, I need to rewrap my finger. This blue tape's coming off. If you want challenge, skill-wise, you should go an entire pot with just your right hand. You make something, a double-walled, sorry, not double-walled, a two-piece vase. Those are my two suggestions. Yeah, I can already tell the regret for asking me, but you know. Yeah. No, I'm also on Facebook. Not that I intentionally post. And this is just a heads up to anybody who's trying to make a little extra money. Facebook offers a program called their Breakthrough Program, and you have to apply for it. But if you get it, you essentially just have to post 20 reels on Facebook and 10 reels on Instagram every 30 days, and you get $200 regardless of how well the videos do. And if you post 40 reels on Facebook, you get an extra $100. Because I cut into my finger, Heather, with this tool, because this tool's sharp. And so I have a giant cut on myself from doing this so much recently. Yeah, it's pretty painful. Throw the whole pot with just your right hand. Centering with your right hand is easy. No, I want the whole. No, 100%. I made this playlist a couple of years ago for streaming too. The problem is that I can't post the YouTube videos that I use this playlist with because it copyrights me. So that's the only downside. Yeah, right. I center mostly with my teaching, so I can have tea in my left hand and walk around and center people's things while I'm drinking my tea if they're struggling. I do. However, we might try to take a couple of them and fire them and then use them for orchid medium. just to switch things up, you know. Um, is what they wanted for this commission. So, but it seemed like it was pretty much up to me outside of that. Brown black. I'm not sure I'm finished making them. That's for future me. Things issue deal. Yeah, Luna. That's exciting. Man, you got some serious. Thanks for the rose. Nope, I don't remember at all. I barely remember my own name, Luna. I don't know. Day of the week it is. I don't remember if I ate. But I'm gonna go put this away. I'm gonna go sit down outside, have a cup of tea. So give me like 15 minutes just to chill and reset, and then blah 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 blah. All right, later. Bye. Give all of a